Hey gang, AV here, and welcome to my review of the Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey 4-inch Gandalf the Grey action figure. Now, as you've probably figured out by watching the other videos on my channel, I am a fan of the 4-inch scale, the 1/18 scale, and my fantasy figures as well. So once I found out that they had a Gandalf, I had to get them. I was a big fan of the Lord of the Rings. I read The Hobbit as a kid, and Gandalf the Grey is like one of my go-to wizards, as I'm sure he is to many people, not just myself. So when I found out that they actually had one in the 4-inch scale, I was all over it. I had to find one, and sure enough, I did. The packaging he's in is rather beat up. I got him at a reasonable price on eBay because the packaging was beat up. And that doesn't really bother me because I'm an opener. You know, I want him to be with my boss fight figures. I want him and Felonious to hang out and stuff. So let's have a look at the packaging itself. So it says The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey up there. I apologize, my camera is I can't fit the whole card in my frame here. My table's a little on the short side. So, but that's the card. It says Gandalf the Grey on the front with the movie image right there. Let the journey begin. You can see the figure as well as his accessories right through the bubble. Looking in the side there, it really doesn't look like there's anything else included. And we flip it over to the other side. There is some text about the film. Feel free to pause the video and read about that if you wish. And then there is also a brief bio, not exactly a file card, but a bio nonetheless. So feel free to pause the video and read about that if you wish. Here's some other figures that are also available. Leglios, obviously, I wouldn't mind having. The goblins, I wouldn't mind having. Maybe a Hobbit or two. I'm gonna see if I can get these at a reasonable price. I'm definitely on board. I don't want to pay an arm and a leg though. But yeah, this may not be the last one I review on my channel. So without further ado, let's get them open. Now, like I do all my other videos, I try to do them all in one take. So you're gonna watch me open this right now. Just try to peel that up a little bit. For you mint and card collectors, I hope this doesn't bother you too much. But it is what it is. Let's get the card out of the way. It's got a little... Oh, okay, I thought this might have been a booklet or something. It's not. It's just a cardboard insert for the packaging. No big deal. And let's get the figure out and have a look at him. Move this back down. Very cool. As usual, we're going to have a look at his accessories first. Let's start with his staff. Nicely detailed. It almost looks like something should go in the top of the staff, but I don't think he came with anything for it. Certainly didn't see anything in the packaging. Nice. He has his sword. Which also looks good. It's a little bit of a flexible plastic. And it is not that sharp. But it looks nice. Yeah. I like the design of that. He's got his signature hat. And finally, let's get the figure himself out. Stands up okay. I didn't even have to adjust his feet or anything. Let's see his sculpt. Looks pretty nice. Pretty cool. All right, let's go down his articulation. All right, so his head does turn slightly. It's on a ball joint, as I just found out. These can come off. But his hair and his beard greatly hinder his mobility, so you can kind of turn it, but not really. All right, which is to be expected. It's a stiff plastic for his head. His arms can do a full 360. They can go up about that far. There's nothing at the bicep, but he does have swivel at the elbow, which can do, can't do a full 360. It's stopped by the elbow part of his robe, but he definitely has a good range there. It can also go straight and bend about 90 degrees. That is one hell of a hinge there. Putting his arm straight, I mean, you can really see that's a big hinge. Almost doesn't look right unless you have his hand bent. His hand, speaking of which, can swivel, but there's no hinge or anything there. So it just rotates 360. He's got a swivel at the waist. You can do a through 360 there if you want. And his legs are going to be greatly hindered by his robes, but they do have articulation, as you can see in there. I'm not sure if the light's getting in there enough, but he does have articulation in there. You're just not going to be really able to use it. It looks like his knees do bend, and he's got something at the hips. The legs do rotate at the knees too, it looks like. Nothing at the ankle or the heel, so that's unfortunate. All right, so it looks like he swivels at the knee and bends at the knee, just a single joint, and he's got his hips. But again, you really don't get anything out of it because of the robes. And on this particular figure, his hips seem pretty stiff, so I don't want to force it too much. But then again, I'm not really looking to get this guy to do any spinning snap kicks or anything in my display. So basically, I bought him for his aesthetic, to be a wizard. And wizards don't do drop kicks, so I'm not that upset about his lack of articulation in his legs. Let's get him with his accessories. He can hold his staff decent. Not great, but decent. It's not going to fall out. His hat, on the other hand, as you saw, doesn't really fit securely on his head. It more just rests there. It is notched to fit a particular way, but it's not secure. A little sticky tack, though, and it would be. I mean, it's not the end of the world. His sword will fit in his hand. Again, not great, but it's secure enough. And it will also fit in his sheath. So that's cool. All right. Not too bad. Let's try to do some size comparison now. As usual, I'm going to get my knife out of the way so I don't cut myself. Size him up with a modern G.I. Joe, 4-inch G.I. Joe. As you can see, he's right about on par with that scale. Here he is next to a vintage G.I. Joe. As you can see, he's noticeably taller. So he definitely fits in better with the 4-inch 1/18 scale as opposed to the vintage 3 3/4 inch scale. And because I'm sure at least the majority of the people watching this video are probably interested in how well he fits in with the Boss Fight Studio Vitruvian Hacks figures, here he is next to one of them. And as you can see, size-wise, they measure up quite nicely. So he is going to fit in with this line very well. All right. All in all, I'm very happy with the figure, even though he's got a limited articulation and the size of his elbow joints are pretty comical. I think he looks great, and I'm looking forward to having him up on a shelf with my other magician figures. Would I recommend him? I would. So this has been AV, and this has been my review of the Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey Gandalf figure. And if you like this video, check out my channel. If you like what you see there, then please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.